Welcome to Derry, Season 1, Episode 2 review. Let's get right into this. So the episode's titled A Thing in the Dark. And I'm not gonna lie, I was very interested to see how they're gonna follow up the first episode of the season, because that was amazing. That was amazing, okay? I love that episode. And I'm like, okay, let's see where they take it from here, because that was, absolutely unexpected. And honestly, I'm very happy with how this episode played out. I'll say this. Also, we saw a lot of build up from what we saw in episode 1. They built a lot upon that, but also, this episode dived into like the racial tensions a lot more and stuff like that. And also, the main two things I'm seeing, at least two of the main themes from this episode, especially, were pretty much how, especially during that era, obviously racism, and another theme back then was about just the way I guess society viewed like girls, right? They're like, okay, so if you don't like pretty much like meet the mold or whatever, bro, they think you're like they like you need to be put in the asylum and stuff like that, like you're distressed or you're emotional, whatever. They put these labels on you. Okay, so I find this it's very interesting because they're finding a way to weave this together. Like I don't know how, but it's working. Okay, that's all I can say. That's my best way of putting it. These themes are weaving them together into the story very nicely, and it's working. At the helm of it, you got like also the whole like Pennywise, whatever you want to call it, just running everything, just playing games, teasing everyone, and just causing everyone's lives to be and Derry just be just trash. But yeah, like a lot of this episode, I would say a lot of this episode is focused on those two themes, and honestly, I loved it. We got to see more of the Major, which I was very excited about, because I know some people were kind of criticizing in the first episode how there was like that one scene where the Major was getting like pretty much like just jumped, ambushed in his own quarters, and they're like, this seemed kind of weird. Like everything else seemed in the episode fine, but this didn't really, like, it just seemed kind of underwritten, kind of random. And I mean, I feel like a lot of people knew this was probably going to go into like a whole thing where it was a test or like a setup as a test or whatever, and that's what it turned out to be, because there's this whole like secret mission going on at the military that they're investigating Derry, and it connects to like Pennywise, whatever you want to call it, and it was Operation Perceptus or something like that. But yeah, they found something. It's if I'm not wrong, I don't know, I might be wrong, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of tired. But when they found the thing at the end of the episode, if you know what I mean, you've probably seen the episode, I'm guessing. But when they discover like the car at the end at like the dig site or whatever, obviously it has a whole bunch of like corpse in it, etc. But does it not look like the same one from the beginning of the first episode? Or am I just like completely wrong here? Okay, that's what I thought. I'm like, it kind of looks like that, especially with the way the corpses were placed and stuff. I'm like, I think that might be it. I might be wrong. I don't know. I might be wrong about that. Even let me see. The episode literally kicks off with us like being back, just pretty much reliving the events from the ending of last episode. Absolutely insane. If I'm not wrong, I think they kind of showed like a different perspective a bit from here, but it was very cool. And also the intro, very cool, because we didn't see the intro in the first episode. We didn't see this. Very eerie, and I'm not gonna lie, I love the music choices. That's one of the things I love. The music choices are very good, and these are the type of songs I like when they get sampled in like rap music nowadays. So I'm like, this is perfect. This is perfect. It's music to my ears. But yeah, like another example, I guess, we literally see very early on in the episode how the police are literally trying to set up Ronnie's father. Literally trying to set him up. They're literally trying to get him, like, they're literally trying to arrest him for anything. They're trying to pin the whole thing, the whole theater, that whole ordeal on him, even though he had nothing to do with it. And that's literally just because of his skin color. And yeah, the absolutely insane, the police. But also, here's another thing. I'm glad they went down this route when you see that scene in the episode where, I guess, was it the chief of the police department or whatever, he's just trying to go for like a drink, just relax, whatever, decompress after a long day. And these two guys, right? One of them, I think both of them one was like a policymaker or something, whatever, or the council member. You see them, I'm like, yeah, these guys are about to assert pressure on him by like saying, if you want to keep your spot, if you want to win the next election, you better handle the situation quick because it's not looking too good for you. And that's exactly what happened. And I knew, I'm like, oh god. I'm like, I feel bad. These three innocent guys in the bar, they're about to just get like, something's gonna happen. I'm like, something racially motivated is about to happen. And luckily, all that happened was that they just got kicked out. Also could have been a lot worse, but just the tension. I'm saying this again. Like, there's always tension in the series, which is like, it always has me on the edge of my seat because I don't know what can happen. And that's in part 2, obviously, the first episode, which, bro, no one could have expected that, what happened in the first episode. But also, just very good at building tension, even when there's not scary stuff happening on screen, such as, like the obvious example from this episode would be, like that whole scene with the pickles. And that is a good callback. That was kind of like, I guess, foreshadowed in the first episode because we see her opening like the locker, and then obviously the kids are bullying her about how her dad, like the tragic way that he passed away and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm like, that was very, very creepy. Like, that had me on the edge of my seat. Also, I'm like disgusted too. I'm like, what is this? He's like a squid type thing because his whole body is this. Yeah, that was crazy. That's crazy. And also I'm like, yep, they're going to use this. I'm like, they know, I'm like, the writers know what they're doing here, putting her inside of the store, inside the grocery store where there's going to be a whole bunch of people, obviously out and about, grocery shopping, whatever. I'm like, she's going to start screaming, and they're going to start thinking like, oh, this is even more reason to put her back in the asylum. I'm like, damn, I'm not going to lie, the writing is fire. The writing is fire in this. Okay. And another thing, let me get into this, bro. That character, Marge, oh my god. I don't know if I'm the only one that hates her, bro. Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh my god. This makes me think about the people back when, I was like in elementary school. And there's always people like that, man. They're trying to, bro. There's always people like that. That's all I can say. Just annoying, bro. That person. Hate that type of person. Also, I'm like, damn. I'm like Ronnie. I'm like, bro, what's her name? What's that? What is her, like, telling she's her main character, but what is her name? I'm forgetting her name, but her and Ronnie, her relationship, her dynamic is pretty interesting because I'm like, okay, this is going good. They kind of like got closer after the tragic events in episode 1. And then, guess what? Due to pressure, and she said herself, she got tricked by the police. She literally just got Ronnie's father arrested. And I'm like, god damn, this also plays back into the whole, like, racial tensions, especially during that era. And I'm like, damn. And then another thing, there's another moment in this episode where, obviously, Ronnie, she was getting her, like, fears just, like, executed. And it was of her mother. Yeah, just her mother, because if I'm not wrong, her mother passed away giving birth to her, and then that was kind of just like her. I don't know, because it goes for, because the whole thing's like it feeds on her insecurities, right, and stuff like that, your fears, insecurities, whatever. And I'm like, bro, there's no way. I'm like, the way this like the way the mother literally formed, like using the bed was insane, especially the part where it's like the headboard, and then that formed her like arms. I'm like, what is going on here? What is going on? And yeah, like all the kids that we have like left over in this episode now that are following the story, I'm really liking these characters. Hopefully, I thought maybe, I'm like, who knows? I'm like, maybe a few of them die again this episode, but thankfully that didn't happen. At least not for now. Yeah. And what else was there? Let me think. What else? Because there was a lot of good stuff in this episode. Another one, when the major, also the major's son, what's his name? Was it Will? I forget. But yeah, the Major's son, obviously he got detention with that whole like stink bomb thing. But man, what a terrible first day. What a terrible first day that was of school for him. But then that's how they got it so that him and Ronnie met in detention and stuff like that. So obviously that's going to play out later on, or throughout the season. But also his mom, right? His mom. So the Major's wife, she's just like trying to make sure, like, you know, her kid knows between right and wrong. But also on the same side of it, it's like, yeah, you're trying to make sure, like, you know, people know right and wrong. Like, just trying to like make sure society is like not like letting these like messed up things like just, you know, happen. But also like it's gonna like it may and like probably will affect your kid in some ways, especially like because they go to the same school and stuff like that, which is kind of like what the Major was like talking about. Yeah, that was also pretty interesting, I think. But yeah, like everything I feel like ties together. It's kind of insane. And let me go here. Let me see what else is here. Like when the Major's wife steps in to like stop that kid from being bullied, everyone is looking at her crazy again. But this time it's because she's a person of color. So yeah, man, just crazy stuff. And I guess going back to that scene with Ronnie, like when she has like the blanket over the cover, like the sheets over, I'm like, yeah, this is about to go bad. Because then you start hearing like the thumping, kind of like sound like a heartbeat, and it's pretty much because she's like, bro, it's because she's literally like inside of her like deceased mom. I'm like, this is crazy. And then she's trying to get out, and like I'm like, is she about to suffocate in there or something? And then she gets out, and she's all covered in blood. She looks back at it, it's like her mother is slowly forming, and then it has like the it mouth thing on it, and, like, and then it also has like it puts some umbilical cord on her and tries to like reel her back in so that like she could get like eaten. I'm like, what is going on here? And then she starts screaming stuff, and also her father and her grandmother come in. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the grandmother was kind of pissing me off too. I can't lie. Some of the things she was saying, I'm like, bro, come on. I was getting triggered. So like the not to say like the characters like are bad. I'm just saying like they're well written. To like they're doing what they're supposed to do. That's what I'm trying to say. And let me see here another part. I think I talked about most stuff in here. Like the relationship between the two kids. What's it called? Like the kid in like the marching band, and I think the other kid. I think his name's Will. I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I already said that earlier. But I'm like, okay, they got a nice little dynamic going. I'm like, this is cool. It's great. And we did see the Native Americans in this episode, so I'm interested to see how that's going to tie in to, I don't know, it looks like the military, right? Because they're at the dig site and stuff like that. And also, if you saw the weeks ahead like trailer, we know that some stuff goes down there. Crazy tension building. And another thing here, when the Major finds out like the guy, what's the guy's name, Master, that he wasn't the one to like that was involved in the whole like setup on him. He knew something was going on. And then yeah, bro, he's like, even though I don't like this guy, right? Like, you know, this is kind of like I don't know, it was kind of heroic. I thought that was a very good scene where he's like, you know, even though I know this guy's like, you know, a racist, you know, like this guy's a bum, he's still innocent at the end of the day. Like, it's still innocent, man. I thought that was pretty good. I thought that the scene was very, very good. And then we see obviously the Major. He finds out that he pretty much got like tested. And he's like, you like, bro, his commander's like, you literally just report me if you want, but it's like, listen to me. And the whole point was pretty much see if he was worthy to like get in on like that secret like operation, essentially. Because they know about pretty much Pennywise, whatever you want to call it, but not too much about it, and they're trying to figure it out. Because it ties back to the whole like, I guess like international scene with what was it, the Soviet Union, right? Because it's during the Cold War, so they're trying to figure that out. So yeah, very cool stuff. I don't know where the season's gonna end, but yeah, I'm liking this quite a bit. And also, like another, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I need to rewatch that scene with the grocery store, because the way the people were started like following her at one point, I'm like, bro, are they just gonna like snatch her, like grab her or something? Crazy stuff. And they were doing obviously like the smile type faces there. Spooky stuff. Very happy this episode came out on Halloween. That was a good decision to drop it. Anyways, let me know what you think down below about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not? I loved it. Not gonna lie. I'm excited for episode 3. Anyways, thanks for watching.